Hi, I'm Mark. This is my September review for Sagittarius Sun sign and Sagittarius rising. We start the month with opposition between Mars and Neptune. Now, this is across your 10th and 4th house. Mars in the 10th house may not feel like being in the public eye on this day. It may feel more like being at home and relaxing. There's 3 days of this, so it's a difficult one to overcome. You may feel a little bit low in energy, so it's best not to get too involved with things and don't put too much stress and strain on your body. The positive point of this aspect is always with Neptune to gain some insight into the more spiritual side of life, or the creative, imaginative side of life, and do some work behind the scenes maybe that's not putting too much pressure on you. On the 2nd, we have a uniting of the Black Moon Lilith and the Moon's North Node. Now this is where you can look at yourself, see how independent you are, see how much you rely on other people or they rely on you, and try and get some balance within this sort of area of relationships, because this happens in your 7th house. Now you also need to look at where you want to be in the future, how you want to be in the future, and there's some help from Venus because she's in the 11th house, and this is your aims and goals for the future. So it's a good time to set new goals, to look at your values and what you put story and what you want to happen going forward in the future. And it's also good because Mercury makes an aspect on the 3rd, so there could be a message, there could be something that someone says that hits home and gives you some kind of insight into which way you should go forward. And then on the 4th, Mercury makes an aspect to Saturn, so this is a good time to get your mind organised, get things straight in your head. On the 5th, we have 2 aspects to Pluto. The first is from Mars, and it's a much more positive aspect than the one to Neptune earlier. This is a trine aspect. Mars in that 10th house of career and destiny wants to formulate a plan, because Pluto's in the 2nd house of finances. So Mars wants to help you to get a plan moving forward that will improve your situation, maybe push you up the ladder of the career, or change your destined path, or increase your finances to a level where you'll be a lot more secure. Venus also makes an aspect to Pluto on this day, and this is an aspect where your emotions will become very intense, and so you'll have the desire plus the motivation from Mars to get on and make these changes and formulate this new plan. On the 6th, we have 2 positive aspects which point us to the fact that you'll be meeting new people and making some exciting new discoveries. The Sun makes a positive aspect to Uranus in the 6th house. This is your everyday routines. So you might meet people in your daily business and they can help you. There's discoveries to be made. Venus is in the 11th house. There's people you can talk to and communicate with. She makes a positive aspect to Jupiter in the 3rd house. So your mind will be open and willing to learn, and you can take guidance and help from people as well. And this will all benefit you to improve your life, make it run a lot smoother. We have a new moon on the 7th. This new moon is in Virgo and it's in your 10th house. Now, the 10th house is about your career goals, it's about your business plan if you have a business, it's about your public standing and how you present yourself to the public outside world, and it's also your chosen path of destiny. So, we have a concentration now for the next couple of weeks. So it's a good time to have constructive progress in these areas. And with the new moon in Virgo, it's about taking a critical eye on things. It's finding the divine in the detail and delving in and seeing where you can make this progress. There's also an opposition on this day between Mercury and the Chiron healing planet. So this is a day when you may think that you need to tell people things and you need to communicate and network with people, or maybe a day when you think you need to just work quietly on your own. This will depend on your individual situation, but there's also a chance for some healing within the context of friends or group endeavours, and also with your creative side as well, as Chiron's in that 5th house. On the 13th, there's an opposition between the Sun and Neptune. We've already had Mars making this aspect, and now the Sun does. So your vitality may be a little bit lowered with this. There could be a bit of confusion and fog around, especially your career area or around the home area. So it's best to lay low, so to speak, for a day and not sign any important documents or contracts. The best thing to get out of this is on the spiritual side of things and on the imagination side of things. Use your creative side if you wish to get benefit from this, and you'll be very understanding and very compassionate of other people, so you may have a spiritual experience, who knows. Then on the 15th there's an aspect between Saturn and the Black Moon Lilith. Now this will last for 14 days, and this is a good time to restructure things in your life. It's a good time to get things organised, and there will be help later on in the month with a positive aspect from Mars. There are two aspects on the 16th that will help you to look at things and move forward. The first one is a positive aspect from the Sun to Pluto. Now the Sun is in that 10th house, as you know, and Pluto is in the 2nd house of finances. So this is a good time to look at where you are, how you can grow and evolve financially and in your career or your business or your destined path, how you can make transformations that will bring much more richness and quality into your life regarding these issues. Now the other aspect is between Venus and Saturn. This is where you can have a appraisal of your life and see again what needs changing, what needs altering. And this is good. You can restructure or reorganise things perhaps, or completely think of new things and new ways of doing things to improve your situation in your life. On the 20th we have a full moon. This full moon is in Pisces and it's in your 4th house. Now over the last couple of weeks there's been a lot of attention, a lot of effort been put into your career or your chosen path or your public standing. Now it's time to turn your attention to the home, where maybe there's domestic tasks to be done, things that need sorting out, and maybe that you've neglected these over the last few weeks, and we don't want to be overextending ourselves on the 10th house matters when the 4th house is still there being unattended. This is a very sensitive, intuitive full moon in Pisces, so you should be able to feel what's right and feel what's wrong, and you need to look at where there's order in your life and where there's chaos, where there's structure and where there's disarray, and balance these things out so that you have a more even run of things. There's also the spiritual side to this full moon, because it's a very intuitive spiritual full moon in Pisces. You may be able to take some time out to relax and maybe meditate, think about things, because there are a lot of changes that are going to be coming on with this full moon. On the same day we have this aspect between Mars and the moon's north node, so this will highlight your path forward. Maybe there's adjustments you're going to have to make now to go down that path, maybe sacrifices that you need to make, but with Mars you'll have the ambition, the drive to go that way. May not have the confidence yet, but that will come. Then the other aspect on that day is an aspect between Mercury and Jupiter, and this will help you to think big, to plan big, and to sort out exactly what it is you want and what you want to go for, fight for. On the 21st there's a square between Mercury and Pluto. Now this normally would be over within a day, but because Mercury's slowing down, ready to go retrograde on the 27th, this aspect's going to last 5 days. So this does give more time to work with this. Now Mercury's in your 11th house of goals and dreams for the future. Pluto's in the house of finances. So this could be a time when your dreams and your goals for your financial future start to form. This could be a little bit of a challenging time because it is a square, but you only get growth when there's a challenge. And the square will help you to sort out what it is you want with your finances and perhaps put things into a new perspective. Now this aspect will happen twice more. It will happen on the 2nd of October as Mercury goes back over it, and then again on the 1st of November when Mercury goes direct again. So the final outcome will not be sorted until the 1st of November. There's still time, plenty of time to work with it during this period. On the 23rd, there's an aspect between Venus and Uranus. This is an opposition. Venus has now gone into Scorpio in your 12th house, so it's working unconsciously. So there may be these unconscious desires that come out on this day that kind of sabotage you some way. Could be a little bit of like self-sabotage, where your daily routines, where Uranus is in the 6th house, become interrupted because Venus wants some excitement, some drama. Then on the 24th, there is a fantastic grand trine in air. This is when Mars makes positive aspect to Saturn and to the black moon Lilith, and these three make a trine in the air signs. Now Mars in the 11th house, we've got Saturn in the 3rd, and we've got the black moon Lilith in the 7th. So these houses will be activated. So this is a time when the energy will be very free flowing. It's very innovative. It's very inspirational. So you've got Saturn there who will be in control. Saturn will control the Mars energy and be able to channel it well, because Mars will not want to step out of line when Saturn puts his foot down. So this is a good time to get things organised, get things structured, get things working for you. You've had this 2 weeks with working with the Saturn and the black moon Lilith, where you had to reassert and re-evaluate your life, and now it's time with this inspirational energy to put things into practice and get the ball rolling, so to speak. There's help on the 25th because the Sun makes positive aspect to the Moon's North Node. Now this allows you to align with your destined path, but this will be through other people, either through your partner or a business partner or someone you are close to will help you to realign with this path, and this should be a very fortunate time. Then on the 29th, the Sun makes positive aspect to Saturn, so you can get structure into your life now. You've agreed what all these changes are going to be, you've started to put them into action. Now it's time to structure them and organise them so they will work well for you. And also there's some creativity on that day as Venus makes an aspect to Neptune, so you have the imagination and creativity to go along with this organisational skills. We finished the month with 3 aspects on a positive note. There's a trine between the Sun and the black moon Lilith, and this will give a lot of charm to you on this day because the Sun is already in Libra, the black moon in Gemini, so you'll be able to talk and charm the birds out of the trees. And it's good to work with others as well. It's good to enlist their help. Don't be overpowering, but get them to work with you and alongside you. Then there's a positive aspect between, well, I say positive, but really should be a challenging one, but for a square, this is probably the best aspect of a square you can have. It's between Venus and Jupiter. It's not really challenging at all. So this should be good because you'll be able to use again your charm and your Venus side to enlist and relate to others well. Then the last aspect is an opposition between Mars and the planetoid Chiron. Now with this aspect, Mars is in that 11th house, so you'll be able to use your courage to overcome any fears and get on with what you've got to get on with. Issues that may come up are about control, about freedom in your life, and it may be that you just need to look at independence and freedom on this day. Thank you for watching the September review. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please subscribe, and if you'd like to leave me a comment, I'd love to hear from you.